most of us want to bat away our intensity, throw a blanket over it, or dampen it down and make it go away so we can get through the day. Most people don't welcome the intensity of a kid. They're not going, oh, great intensity. It's the key to love and happiness and great. So it's this book is about helping people to see the beauty of intensity, that it's something we all have in common. It's our life force. We couldn't do anything we do without our life force. We wouldn't be able to get out of bed. And can we embrace it rather than brace against it? Can we see that underneath all our thoughts? We get swept away in our thoughts, and we go off into worry, misery, and doubt. We get swept away by our emotions, and we go down the black hole, or we get swept away by the issues of our bodily sensations, good, bad, or otherwise. But you could be the best thinker in the world and still be enormously problematic. You could be the most emotionally keyed in person in the world and still have a miserable life. And you could be, the be all end all body, nurtured person and have a miserable life. None of that is an answer in itself. What if underneath thinking, emotion, sensation was just a wellspring, a never-ending wellspring of energy, and we get our daily doses, whether we like it or not. It comes how it comes. I think of it as in many different ways, but one way is, the movies that are playing in our head, the dramas, comedies, romantic movies, the horror movies, the fictions, the science fictions, the documentaries. Underneath all of that is energy. And if we could just encounter our life at any given moment and go, oh, energy, I'm going to take it. We turn on the news and we see the craziness of the world or the glory of the world. It's not just the bad stuff, it's good stuff too can overwhelm us. Why not just be simplistic enough to go, wow, energy, I'm gonna drink that in like it's nectar. And I'm gonna see what's tickling my imagination. I'm gonna see what's I think of it as spirit rising, in many forms. And if we don't get lost in, we got to solve our problems and think everything through or feel everything through. If we don't get lost in that, and we can just harness the energy, we could take that very energy that could upend us and throw us into a tizzy. And we can go, what am I going to do with this energy? Oh, I know. I'm going to turn it into inner wealth. Instead of it being a deficit, and bankrupting, I'm gonna have it turn into an asset. And then we decide what we're going to invest in. Well, sometimes it's logical. It's right there staring us in the face. I got an issue with, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, friend, family, colleague, and it's got a certain nature to it. I'm going to take that energy and turn it into something that's going to be directly related to maybe a best guess of, what greatness in me is going to help be medicinal or remedy. Or it could be completely unrelated. Sometimes I just want to play big and knock it out of the park. And but I experiment with this, and sometimes I'll just go, okay, I'm going to take all my blind spots. I don't know what they are, which makes sense more ridiculous. I just know I have blind spots. I'm going to take all my blind spots. I'm going to take, I watch the blind spots of in politics. Gets me irked. I'm going to drink in, they're not using the energy. Why don't I use the energy? Screw them. They're not going to use it. I'm going to use it. So I avail myself of whatever I can in a greedy way. It's my form of greed, but it's also my, I believe that if I take, if I grow inner wealth, then it's going to lead to the opposite of greed and generosity. That I will have so much more to give because I just have a bigger picture of the world. And as I grow in greatness, it will seep out in ways that surprise me. I love being surprised.
Wow. Okay. I want to be respectful of your time and wrap up. Of course,
A couple more minutes. I could go.
more questions. Okay.
Yeah, if you're okay with that.
I'm great with that. Thank you so much. Here's your inner wealth pouring out into generosity like you just described it would. I love it. Can you walk us through? I'm curious if you do this work, I'm going to call it work because it's personal development work. Do you do this, throughout the day as energy comes at you, or do you do it as like a meditative practice kind of every morning? You're looking for whatever is there. Can you describe how it's maybe been most beneficial to you? I'm sure you probably do all of the above.
I've experimented with all the above, and I can't say I'm as disciplined now as I've been at various times in my life where, I'm marking time once or more a day and diligently putting in my minutes. It's not like that anymore. My goal, if I could like write it in the sky, my promise to myself would be, I want to do this with every breath. I mean, ultimately, that's the level I want to attain. Do I do it with every breath? I think we already all do it with every breath, and we don't know it. Mm. So, just like the body works on automatic in our lungs, whether we realize it or not, take in air, and it has this mystical way of taking energy out of air, oxygen, and then in the most generous act of all, it sends it to every cell of the body. I think our great beings, our souls, know how to do that with energy. And it knows how to harvest energy. And you see examples of that all the time with people who take tragedy, especially, and turn it into, causes and hills to die on. And but I want to be more conscious about it. I would, if, I believe that if you breathe more consciously, you could harvest more oxygen and you could better resource. I would like to see every, it's not for the faint of heart. This is just my personal experiment because this work has been key to my life. If I could wave a magic wand, I'd have the awareness that while I'm having fun, while I'm out doing things, while I'm going to the bathroom, while I'm eating, while I'm doing anything and everything, in the midst of all the thoughts and the feelings and the sensations, I'd be breathing energy. Oh, wait a second, I already am. But let me make it purposeful. That's the place where we could have a better harvest. That's where the rubber meets the road, is people who learn nurture heart approach and use it only when there are problems with their kids are gonna see things get worse, not better. Because the kid's gonna soon figure out, oh, my parents, do this nurtured heart appreciation thing, when I stir up issues, So the same is true within us. If we just use it every blue moon or only when we have a problem, that's going to backfire. But if we get conscious enough, and good luck with that, that's our human commonality and dilemma, but I'd like to believe that it's possible in this lifetime to get progressively more conscious, where just out and about at the store, wherever I am doing whatever I'm doing, I could do my fair share of harvesting and growing. And what am I harvesting? I'm harvesting energy, and I'm purposely encountering the energy and sending it out. I was just editing some of the new book today. A year ago or so, it came across that our miraculous bodies grow 330 billion new cells a day, I think. There is fact around this, and it's a large number. It's in the millions of billions. Maybe it's 330 million a second. It's staggering. And what do we want to tell, just for the fun of it, what do we want to tell our new cells? Some sad old story? Same old, where we're hanging on for dear life, and we're just surviving and status quo. Let me get back to the status quo. I don't want that life. That's not of any interest to me. I want to use life to see what's possible. And this is an avenue that has compelled me as a way of seeing what's possible. If I grow this inner wealth and I send it out to every cell of my body and beyond, what's going to be the impact? And I'm convinced in my delusional world that there's a lot of impact.
Oh, I love
I have the greatness of being delusional, and I'll own it.
I was just going to ask you, what greatness of yours brings you the most joy?
Being delusional.
Amen, right? We live in the world that we create. We all do.
Yeah.
At least you're honest about it.
I don't want to live life according to some supposed, imprints or the way the world would like me to live. This is my unique path, and I'm and every person has that at their fingertips.
Wow. Well, I think that is a beautiful note to close on, although I wish we never had to close this conversation out. But
Well, thank you, Bridget.